me all right? As usual, I'm going to be taking the role of general attendees dynamically, so we won't go through that. We have a special presentation here regarding the Lemoyne Transfer Center, and I'm going to throw the con to Sherry. Sherry, you have the con.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I am also going to pass. We're going to ultimately start off with Trevor. He's going to introduce our speakers. As you saw in the invite that went out, we're speaking today about the Lemoyne Transfer Center, and we're really just using this as an opportunity to get some public insight to that project. So, Trevor, do you want to begin?
Yeah, I'll start off. Good morning, everyone. With me is Steve Nunemaker from STV. He's one of the designers. I believe that is it from that group. But what we're going to do is kind of go over.
We also, sorry to interrupt, we also have Tim Fair, the civil engineer, with us as well. So he is on.
Okay. And Tim Fair from also STV. So we're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen. Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, great.
Yes.
So what we're proposing is
as we move through, we're going to make sure that we do describe the slides and stuff, so folks that are unable to see them, that we're making sure they know what we're looking at.
So just good.
I appreciate that, Sherry. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're proposing a renovation to the Lemoyne Transfer Center that represents a strategic investment in both mobility and equity for the West Shore. From a service planning perspective, this location is a strong potential to function as a true West Shore hub. With appropriate realignment, this facility could anchor multiple offshoot travel patterns, allowing riders to transfer locally rather than traveling all the way to the East Shore to complete a trip. This reduces travel time, improves operational efficiency, and strengthens connectivity between the East and West Shores over the long term. Today, however, the site is significantly underutilized, largely because the existing infrastructure cannot accommodate more than 2 vehicles at a time. The physical constraints of the current layout limit our ability to leverage it as a multimodal hub. Renovation removes the barriers and unlocks its net value. In fact, the operational impacts of this project are entirely beneficial. The renovation will replace existing sidewalks in need of repair and add sidewalks where needed to improve pedestrian flow, as well as improve ADA access. Enhanced lighting for visibility and safety, real-time bus schedule monitors to improve rider communication, and expanded security features, including video camera and an emergency call station. These improvements directly address safety, accessibility, reliability for transit-dependent populations. In short, renovating the Lemoyne Transfer Center allows us to activate the strategically located West Shore hub, improve cross-shore connectivity, enhance rider safety and accessibility, and invest equitably in a community with demonstrated transit dependency. So after this presentation, if you have any suggestions or questions, we'll be accepting comments through Friday. And I'm going to go to the next slides and let Steve finish up. Steve or Tim, I'm not sure which one's going on.
Okay, if I can interrupt for a second. So this first slide was, it's a slide that really just introduces what the topic is, the Lemoyne Transfer Center, and had an image of, really a kind of overhead image of the space where the new facility the new transfer center would be located. Another thing to note as we move forward is that this presentation is being recorded, and this presentation is also going to be put onto our website for comment for folks that are not able to join us today. So if you don't feel comfortable being on camera, feel free to turn your camera off, and you don't have to speak if you don't want to, but that is something to note. This next slide is just words, so there's no descriptor for this, so the speaker will speak to what that is. So there's a question in chat asking, let me get to it, I actually can't see it here. Asking, where's the public supposed to send comments and an email address? Is that at info@Rabbit Transit? Is that where they're going?
I'll put my email address in there. That way we can get those answered pretty directly.
Thank you, Trevor.
Trevor, do you mind if I share my screen? I was going to zoom in a little bit. It's a little easier for me to do that with my screen, if you don't mind. And everybody, I'll get to the site plan. I just make sure. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. So thank you, Trevor, for going through the introduction, a little bit of project description. I will go through a little more information in terms of the plan detail and the site itself and the work that's being completed there. And then the last slide will just be some details of some of the site fixtures, so you get a better idea visually of what we're proposing. Sorry. All right. So good morning, everybody. My name is Steve Nonamaker with STV, Senior Project Manager. Again, we have Tim Fair, who is the civil designer, civil engineer for the project. We're the designers and engineers of record. As Trevor mentioned, the facility is located off State Street and provides for 5 bus parking and loading areas. You can see the bus loading areas situated here.
And he is describing, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Sorry.
he is describing what is on the screen right now. There is an image right now of kind of a diagram of what the facility or transfer center will look like. And he's just kind of walking through the details of what that looks like on the slide.
Yeah, thank you, Sherry. And in terms of the layout overall, if you're familiar with the current layout and size of the bus station, it's a similar size, similar layout, just to kind of give you a feel for that. What we are changing is, the entire site will be renovated with new concrete paving. So basically where the existing paving is now will be new concrete paving, but that area will be enlarged to allow proper circulation for a larger amount of buses. And you can see to the right is northbound towards Harrisburg, to the left is southbound on State Street. And there'll be new concrete paving, new curbs to kind of define this driving area throughout the site, new ADA compliant sidewalks, which you'll see here, which have ramps and detectable warning strips that allows passengers to safely cross this area over from the north side to the south side. There's 2 designated pedestrian pathways to allow you to cross over. I'll zoom into this area in a little bit more as I talk about that in detail, but there are bus shelters. There's 4 bus shelters that are provided. One here, one here. So there's 2 on the north side. And then there is 2 located on the south side. And later I'll show you a picture of those so you can get an idea of what they look like. So in general, with the sidewalks, there's also improved drainage on site and several different security improvements, which I'll get into later, as well as new lighting. So let me just zoom in here. I'll let it give you a little better idea of how this area is going to function. So obviously when buses come in, it'll drop off at this sidewalk. We have new electronic bus route signage located at each bus drop-off location. Essentially, it's a pole with an electronic sign on it. I'll show you a picture of that shortly, but that allows you and the passengers to understand clearly each bus and their route. So it's very obvious, where to go and whether you're getting on the right bus or not. Back in this area, we have a ticket kiosk where you can get tickets for the bus. Also, right here is an electronic passenger information system that is interactive that you can use for overall bus schedules. And then also is an integrated emergency call button at that location as well. And you can see the two bus shelters here. I had mentioned some security upgrades earlier, and part of those security upgrades are security cameras mounted on each one of the bus shelters in these locations. We have 7 new light poles throughout the site, and that is going to, drastically increase and improve lighting for security. And as I mentioned before, the emergency call button here if there's any issues or concerns. So that's kind of an overview of the site itself. We do have a storage building over on the right here to allow for storage on site. But that's kind of a summary of how this area is going to function. Now, the next slide I'll show you has a little more information in terms of, sorry, I keep going in the wrong direction. A little more information in terms of what some of these fixtures look like. So up on the left-hand side, item 1 is a bus shelter. It has a glass surround. It has an arched top to allow that to be kind of light and airy, but at the same time provide shelter for bus passengers. I had mentioned the ticket kiosks. Here's an example of the ticket kiosk. It has a user interface to allow you to get tickets automatically. This is the example of emergency call. This isn't the greatest picture in the world, but you can see the electronic display of the routes, the bus schedules, bus numbers. So it kind of gives you all the information you need here to understand where you need to go and what bus to use. The side of this has the emergency. This is a side view of this sign and has the emergency call button. This bus route sign is an example of what I had mentioned at the bus loading areas. So ours is going to be a little bit different in that there is a sign post that goes up and will hold this bus route sign. So again, it'll be very clear when you're getting on that bus, what the route is and what the bus number is. So that's essentially, what I had in the overview of the site. Trevor, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, or if we would just want to take any comments or questions.
I think we go with questions or comments. I think that'd be great.
Okay.
See, there's a
George Gilmore. Where exactly on State Street is this? What is it next to Carnes? Where is it?
the address is 1000 State Street. It's across the street from Carnes grocery store,
Okay.
basically.
So here's a site right here. Here's Carnes grocery store.
It's the right now it's directly across from that diner, actually.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Across from the
It's
West Shore Dine.
So it's behind
There's
the
currently a
Carnes.
map being displayed on the screen for folks who are not able to see it.
So it's in between Carnes and the Lemoyne Farmers Market. That's the
Yes.
area. Okay, very good. Thanks so much.
So there's a question in the chat about the signage. The electronic sign will speak. It will be in English and Spanish. This is similar to the signs that we have in our York Transfer Center as well.
I wanted to ask
correct me if I'm wrong,
question
this is,
about the how does you're showing sidewalks on your diagram. Is that Lemoyne Borough? I guess does Lemoyne have a plan for those sidewalks to connect to something or to a crosswalk crossing the street there?
At this point, there isn't a plan that we're aware of from Lemoyne Borough. This transfer center will basically be, for lack of a better way to describe it, will be like the hub where other buses come in, where you'll be able to make transfer points to get to other places within the community. Not necessarily someplace that we're expecting a lot of people to walk to, but more, like I said, like a transportation.
Right, like a single mode, basically, bus to bus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and that sort of answers my next question was say, for example, if somebody, we've all heard of kiss and ride, or somebody, you get dropped off at a bus station or, transit station, and then you go into the city so that you don't have to drive into the city, et cetera. There's no thought that this would have an intermodal connection at some point.
We won't be adding a kiss and ride to this just due to the basically because of the space that's available to us. There's not really an area for parking or to make this a kiss and ride.
And in your professional opinion, if Lemoyne did an active transportation plan, and social determinants of health, they wanted people to use the bus to go to Carnes, would to get to Carnes would make more sense to you that you take a bus and go across the street or walk across? And if it would make more sense to walk across, in your professional opinion, do you think that PennDOT would approve a mid-block crosswalk at that location of that sidewalk?
So I don't want to speak for PennDOT or Lemoyne. We will be doing some redesigning of our service on the Lemoyne side. Basically, like I said, because we're not going to be traveling all the way back to the Harrisburg Transfer Center with all of the buses there. So it will have an opportunity for more service in this area. And there would potentially be, or could potentially be, a stop somewhere along the line of the Carnes grocery store. I don't want to, once again, none of this is concrete, but it would definitely help the riders to be able to get to Carnes in a safe manner. But like I said, I can't really speak to PennDOT, what PennDOT's plans are or what Lemoyne's plans are at this point.
Yeah, it's just we would hope that this transfer center could serve as a catalyst for the borough to think about how people get from one place to the other. You can see on the other side of the street there's a crosswalk to nowhere over there on the other side of the street, and you can see that people are starting to think about how you get from one place to another, but they haven't connected all the dots. Last question is, you talked about security at the facility. Had you thought at all about an emergency phone there? I know most people have cell phones, but once in a while you bump into somebody who doesn't.
Right. That was one of the pictures. Steve, if you could go back to the last slide on the bottom left-hand corner, there's actually a call button that we can program it to either go to 911 or to our dispatch. At this point, it hasn't been decided where that call will go yet, but there will be, if there is an emergency and somebody hits the button, there will be a camera in there that will be able to see what's going on, and then also the call button to call and for emergency help.
Great. That's fabulous. I missed that the first time around. Thank you. Go ahead.
Jeff, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah. So I was looking on the Rabbit website and I didn't see anything on there. Is this going to be put on the Rabbit website to get public comments, or?
I thought we were on the website. Is Hillary on still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is this on the website, Hillary?
We posted on Facebook about it, and the PWDAC meeting information is on the website, but not the Lemoyne Transfer Center information yet. So yes, we'll add it, and we'll add the recording of this video here.
Yeah,
And
if you
then
can,
we'll enunciate the public comment deadline as well.
okay, great. Yeah, if you have an email address. I saw the Facebook link, but didn't see that. And my last other question is this included in the HATS, the Harrisburg Area Transportation Services, their TIP, Transformation Improvement Plan, which covers Cumberland County for, I was curious about that too.
I'm not aware of that. We can look into that.
Is this getting any federal funding to it?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think my understanding is anything that's got federal funding has to go through the TIP for whatever MPO, which is in Harrisburg for Cumberland, is one of the 3 counties there. So, all right, thanks.
Luisa Lasova has asked if there is a higher resolution image of the plan that they would be able to access to. If there is, please get that to Carolyn O'Brien and myself, and we'll make sure it gets out to people in the minutes or directly by email.
Roger, could I preempt it a little time? I got a video visit coming up. This is George Gilmer. I lived in an area. What you're creating in construction terms is called an attractive nuisance. There's going to be a lot of people that want to shop at the farmer's market and additionally at Carnes. Are you limited in your real estate on both ends of this site? Are you able to make safe transfer walks across? Because people will do that. They'll get off a bus, they'll shop at either or both of those places, and then they'll get back on a bus.
The property itself, if we're looking at the picture now as it is, to the left tails off pretty significantly. It goes all but to a point. I don't know if we would be able to do anything with that or not, to get across the street to Carnes down further. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and by the way, the access for somebody using a wheelchair from Market Street into that area would be from Carnes. If you're coming from the farmer's market, there's a steep hill, which is, it isn't as easy a route. So yes, I'm asking that because, as I said, you're creating, so to speak, an attractive nuisance. Just because the buses are going there doesn't mean people won't get off and walk to places and grocery shop. Like, there's a lot of food desert in Harrisburg, and there's already a big impact going to Carnes as it is. They have a lot of theft there from people coming from Harrisburg into Carnes. You ought to get with Scott Carnes. He's made safe walkways from the plaza from his store over the plaza beyond, he has lit crosswalks for people to negotiate that area. I'm sure Scott Carnes would be very interested in what's going on with this.
You said Scott Carnes?
Yes, he's the owner of the Carnes grocery store chain.
Now, strictly as a transfer center, I think I'm personally familiar with using the downtown crossing at Market and Second in Harrisburg. I can't say I ever thought it had a name as a transfer center. Two questions. Quick one is there any accommodation for parking for people that might want to use this as a what do they call them? The park and ride
Right.
location.
No, there will be no parking.
No parking here. And nothing really to accommodate parking with any of the privately held properties across the street, I guess. Second question is, what's the expected use for this? There'll be people coming from perhaps a fixed route in out in Carlisle, in Cumberland County, or up from York County, doing a transfer here in order to gain access to a shopper special or something that goes into Dauphin County, or
Right. So I think the easiest way to explain this will be like a bicycle hub or bicycle spokes. The center of the spoke is where this transfer center will be. And from there, people will be able to board other buses to get out to other places in the area. And once, as of now, that's not designed. The plan isn't, the routes aren't planned necessarily. But that's the idea. We want to eliminate where all the buses over in Lemoyne have to travel back to the Harrisburg Transfer Center in order to hop on another bus to go someplace else. This will allow more service and better service over in the Lemoyne area.
all right. Maybe for an offline discussion, I'd be curious. The shared ride bus service that many of the regular attendees here use. It's a curb-to-curb service, but of course, whenever possible, fixed route. We try to get on that side. I'd be curious if there's anybody saw any scenarios to where a person may begin or end their trip on a either the fixed route, from shared ride or not.
This is designed mainly to be a fixed route transfer center. I guess there is potential for a shared ride vehicle to drop somebody off here, but it's not the intended purpose at this point.
Okay. All right. What are the amenities that are going to be available here?
As far as
shelter from rain.
yes, there will be 4 shelters. There will be a bicycle rack, a ticket vending machine where you'll be able to purchase your tickets.
Is that vending machine also audio for the visually impaired?
I am not 100% on that one.
Yeah, Trevor, let me jump in. The ticket vending machines for the new fare collection system are intended to be ADA accessible, implying that there is visual and audio cues available. We can confirm once we have a model on site, but that is in the specifications.
Thank you.
All right. So someone using the downtown crossing transfer center or the York transfer center would be right at home here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This will actually be an upgrade from what we currently have at the Harrisburg Transfer Center.
Yeah.
The current transfer center.
Is Downtown Crossing going to continue to act as a transfer center, or are we going to be shifting that out to the Cameron Street facility?
There will
Is that-
be a Cameron Street transfer center, and we'll be shifting away from pulling into the current transfer center that's in Harrisburg.
Steve, did you have a question? Stephen Knob, did you have a question?
I just wanted to participate in public comment.
Okay, go ahead.
I am not on here as, ignore my email address. I'm on here as a citizen doing public comment. First of all, I wonder if I could drop an image into the chat. Second, so I think that might be helpful. I'll say these things too, but and I will say I live in Campbell Borough, so I'm not a Lemoyne resident. But I drive through this area, I bike through this area, I run through this area routinely. And I think it could be more pedestrian friendly for sure. And I think this could be a part of that. I don't think it should be approached with tunnel vision, hopefully. See if this will drop in your, oh, it looks like I can't. Okay. Well, in any case,
Trevor, if you
Can
go
you
up to
share
the
your
screen
screen?
share,
yeah, I'm happy
maybe
to share my
Stephen can do
screen,
that.
absolutely. All right. So I'll just go to the top, and this
There you
is
go.
like the anti-tunnel vision statement. In general, please consider this as a complete streets opportunity. Of course, you're limited to what's inside the property boundary, but doing the right things today could help more right things happen tomorrow, and it makes it ready for that. To that end, and I just heard there's bike storage, but I think bike parking, preferably covered, is great. I really
Can I interrupt can I interrupt quickly?
Absolutely.
So the image that we're looking at on the screen is an image of kind of the space where the transfer center is, and there are words overlaid across the image with suggestions that are being made by the speaker to make it more complete streets friendly. Go ahead,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. So, you know, I mentioned the bicycle storage, and I will say, you know, when I go out for a run, especially, there is not a complete sidewalk network here. I generally run on the sidewalk where it's available, and otherwise I run opposing traffic. So on State Street, I usually turn at the speedway, and I'm able to come up the sidewalk, mostly sidewalk until about the, you know, eastern edge of the property at this point. If there were a crosswalk here and the sidewalk extended along here, I would be happy to be separated from traffic a little longer. And I think it would be great for the future. And I do kind of loathe where you see crosswalks that end in just a little apron dead end that shows our level of commitment to pedestrians in the United States. But I think we should do it here because that's as much as we can do. And I think there really should be a pedestrian accommodation here that is substantial. This looks like a pretty, you know, minimal crosswalk as it was shown in the Facebook post. And that's really most of what's on my mind. I think, you know, just build for the future, please. And, you know, this is multimodal. Let's make it truly multimodal, not focused on heavy vehicles in the street strictly. That's all.
Stephen, could you email that to Trevor Manahan? And there is his email address in the chat, so he has that as part of the public comment.
Of course, of course.
Thank you. Did anyone want to respond to that?
George
Okay.
Gilmer again. I live there, and so I'm extremely familiar with the site. I lived there for a good 20 years. Walked that area. Use a wheelchair, know the area, and know how difficult the area can be. A lot of traffic along State Street that can be, you know, kind of rapid. as I said, to get safe pedestrian crosswalks there, that's going to be an issue. But it's going to be needed. And when I said attractive nuisance, just because you got heavy vehicles going in and out, people will, walk across there, and they will be coming across with their groceries. I guarantee you that will be happening, whether it's from the farmers market, Carnes, or the other shops along State Street. Doctor's offices, a lot of different things will be happening. And then the connection that needs to be to Market Street, which it can be potentially done through the farmers market. However, that's private property. It's going to be more through the complex, and I'm not sure who owns that in front of Carnes. I don't know that this is official street that runs from Carnes and the plaza there, but that area from Market Street to Carnes to this transfer station will be crucial. There won't be a lot of pedestrian foot traffic there.
All right. Thank you. Steve, if you would release screen share, please.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, once again, just for everybody's ears, we're taking public comments until when? And
Friday.
Trevor Manahan is the key contact with Rapid Transit.
Until Friday.
That's right.
Louisa, do you have something to add also?
Yes, I have a few things. So I'm here wearing many hats. I'm a Camp Hill Borough Council member. I'm co-chair of Bike Camp Hill and president of the Friends of the Conroe Gwinnett Greenway. So could we please have the slideshow back up with slide 3 that shows the detailed plan? Okay, so a few comments. So you were saying the public comment deadline is until Friday, that is the day after tomorrow, is that correct?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you meeting your legal public comment obligations? Because the public, as of right now, does not have access to these plans. Like, I could only see whatever you posted on Facebook, which was impossible to zoom in. There just wasn't the resolution. So I think you need to extend the deadline and make sure that the public actually can access the plans and has some time to formulate a response. So that being said, I agree with a few other speakers that it would be a missed opportunity to not collaborate with Lemoyne Borough, and I feel like this is something I would expect from both Lemoyne Borough and Rapid Transit to collaborate here and make sure that there will be adequate pedestrian crossings built, and also to collaborate with whoever owns the parking north of this facility to have some kind of park and ride facility. I mean, people are going to do it informally anyway. They will just park wherever. Then I was happy to see bike parking. Could you maybe expand on how many bike racks are there? Like the picture showed 2. That's not a lot.
It should be able to accommodate 4 bikes.
4 bikes, yeah. So that's not a whole lot. Now, would you consider putting the bike racks in such a way that they are covered from rain? Like there's according to the design, there's like a bus shelter right next to it, or yeah, it's hard to tell because the pictures you show are just representative, right? They're not exactly detailed design. So anyway, covered bike rack would be nice. Also, are the bike racks covered by the security cameras that you installed?
Yeah, so the whole station should be covered by the security cameras.
Okay. So the bike racks are not tucked away in the corner where the cameras don't reach.
No.
There's a
No.
camera on this bus shelter, which is right adjacent to the bike rack, so this will definitely
Awesome.
be covered.
Awesome.
Would you be okay if we extended it to next Friday?
I mean, that would be the absolute minimum.
Yep.
I mean, whenever you post the information on the website, which you said you will, but when that will happen, then, you know, I will need time to find it and then disseminate. And I mean, it should really not be up to us to inform the public. It should be up to you to make sure that the public is informed.
So we'll push it back till next Friday.
Okay. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the West Shore Gateway project. Does anybody know about it, or should I explain?
I'm not aware of it.
Okay. So apparently nobody's talking to anybody. So Lemoyne Borough has asked Ritu and I can forward that information. I actually did forward it to Dave, to Bob a couple of months ago. You see, south of your proposed facility is the Norfolk Southern rail track. So Norfolk Southern is thinking about abandoning this rail track, and if and when that happens, then there are plans to build a multi-purpose path there. So it would be great if your plans would include a potential way to connect to that path down the hill. So I can send the information I have to, I guess, Trevor.
Yes, please.
Can do that.
Hey, Louisa, I just wanted to comment. I do have your materials from October of 25. I had reviewed that in relation to the high intensity mobility corridor study. At least at the stage with what information we had and the schematics for that project, there wasn't anything concrete that gave us a timeline on how to approach that. We are in constant communication with the associated boroughs in some form or fashion, maybe not specific to the Lemoyne Borough, but we tend to be involved, focused on coordination in relation to at least the active transportation plans and anything in that. So I'll make it a point to forward to Trevor the material you had sent me, but if there is any updates regarding the probability or timeline, it would be appreciated.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, but I just want to make sure that the plans you're making here, that they don't preclude a future connection.
Understood. Yeah, I'm just highlighting from our perspective that exactly to your point, we never want to work in a microcosm. So the challenge is trying to make sure to incorporate all these items with variable expectations and deadlines, which tends to be the barrier to progress for us. So, but thank you.
All right. And as to the bus schedule, I guess you haven't finalized the bus schedule. You're thinking about it, but are you trying to have all buses turn back at the new transfer center, or will there still be direct buses from the Camp Hill area to Harrisburg?
So exactly to your point, the schedule revamp or revisions to the service in the Harrisburg and Cumberland region is not finalized. That is largely associated to the timeline for the transfer center and preparing according to that. But to your direct question, there is anticipated to be direct service between the East and West Shore. It's not intended to be a disconnect between the two locations. It's simply intended to be an improvement to access, because as it is right now, we have at the top of my head, I think it's like 6 or 7 routes that travel across the river, service the transfer center, and to get back to somewhere on the West Shore, you ultimately have to take another bus. And even if it was a matter of a mile or two distance to make the connection, you had to take that connection all the way to the transfer center and back. Yeah. This is just designed to improve some of the hub spoke elements, sort of to Trevor's point, that several of those routes probably don't need to make that trip all day, every day. And there's also other elements of the high intensity mobility corridor study that we're working on that you've been involved with, that we'd be looking at the potential for adding connectors between the East and West Shore Transfer Center locations, so that we'd be able to run one bus or several buses on a high frequency between those two sites, versus every single bus have to come all the way back and forth across the river.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. And is there any potential timeline of realizing these transfer center upgrades? Are we talking a decade? Are we talking
Right.
3 years?
How are you today?
Sorry?
How are you feeling?
Both busy, I guess.
We have
I'm
someone
doing
needs
okay.
to
So
mute.
this other sound bothering you? It's just on.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so this will be hopefully completed within 1 to 2 years. 2 years being on the high side.
Okay, that's awesome. No, I mean, I really like it. It looks great. But yeah, definitely we need a safe pedestrian connection, because otherwise there will be people jaywalking all the time, and it will become a safety issue.
Okay, thank you, Lisa.
Okay, I'll mute
Rita?
myself now. Thank you very much.
Jerry, you still
Does
have the
anyone-
con.
Does anyone else have anything they want to add to the conversation? Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, it's just about posting this in the chat. You might want to also just give a heads up to our state legislators. I know that's Representative Nathan Davidson's area, and Craig Rothman's the state senator, possibly Congressman Perry is somebody's a former staffer. You tend to get calls about these things, and it's probably good just to be aware of it, like if you're going to have anything and stuff like that too. Possibly the Cumberland commissioners as well, county commissioners. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff.
Jeff,
Anyone
I
else?
copied your chat out to an email to key players here.
So it seems like that wraps up the comments that are coming in from this. Trevor, do you want to wrap this portion up?
Like we said, if anybody has any comments, we'll extend the deadline till next Friday. And Hillary's going to put some stuff up onto our website. And like I said, feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible.
All right.
So at this point, for folks that want to stay, they're welcome to stay in this meeting. We're going to continue with the next portion of our regularly scheduled meeting. You're welcome to stay, as I mentioned, but you don't have to, certainly.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone, for joining us. We
Thank you,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
Hey, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Okay. Hi, guys. How are we? We are down to the final 10 minutes of our meeting. I'm going to be selfish for just a moment here. I'm going to do a screen share, hopefully. Carolyn, could you come off mute and help me out here? The queue strength system was shown at a prior meeting for fixed route riders to have automated securing, people who are in manual and power wheelchairs. Am I still on here?
You are still here, yes.
Okay. Let's see. I got on a shared ride bus earlier this week. Oh, that's not the right button.
Okay.
Oops, said the surgeon.
I'm trying to find my text.
Are you
people,
trying to share those
It-
images from this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh, there's Share.
Roger saw one on one of the paratransit buses. And we weren't aware that they were going to be on the paratransit.
So anybody who did paratransit, you know, there's those silver safety belt things that get locked into the floor and connected to you and your chair. And saw this mounted in the floor. If you're able to see the screen share, it has 4 corner hooks that are below floor level through this platform that your chair would be sitting on. And to the left of the picture, there are 2 connections that would be for the lap and shoulder belt. And like probably all you really need to see. Anybody see that, or does it not work?
Yes,
we
we can
see
see
it.
it. You
We
see
see
it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing, and so that's that. Okay. Pretty cool thing, I must say. It takes some of the guesswork and training needs and what have you out of
Well,
out of the driver's hands.
Sherry, were you aware of this? It looks like you weren't.
Well, so I'm not as in the loop of which ones are in which vehicles. So I'm not
Okay.
a fair person to ask that question. But
Oh.
certainly Trevor oversees our maintenance department. So he would be obviously much more in the loop of that. I kind of am on the outside of that. So I think it's great though, especially if it's something that you're finding was helpful and you found it useful. So that's great.
Yeah, it really worked brilliantly.
Well, just
I'm glad to hear.
we're wondering how many buses this is on and when it started.
That's a great question. Trevor, do you have that answer? Are you still on?
I am still on, but I don't have a specific number. Give me about 2 minutes and I'll see if I can reach out to my maintenance manager and get you an answer on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And also, Roger, you had a picture of the instructions on how to use it. Is it the same thing that was on that they were putting on fixed route buses?
No, let me share that as well if I can share window. This picture looks kind of odd. Let me see if it comes up okay. Well, the top right 2/3 of the screen is most of the sticker for using the Q-Straint 4-point wheelchair security system. To the left of that, you'll see a little bit of a black arch. That's a button that automatically releases all those straps and hold downs so that they can be attached. And then you strike the button again and it goes into lock.
And for those that can't see the screen, it's just a visual of like a model with I'm trying to think of what the words are, but a diagram of how to use this specific securement with a model person in a wheelchair, showing where the straps go and how the different securements attach at the floor. So that's what we're looking at on the screen.
So,
Thank you, Roger.
Roger, did
This
your
is Kathy
client?
Long.
Wait,
Go ahead, Kathy.
Oh, okay. I'm a little confused about this discussion here about these restraints. Are the people in the wheelchair riding fixed route buses and have to secure themselves, or is it something? I'm not understanding what's going on right now with this picture and this discussion.
Yeah, these drawings are for people on the shared ride bus,
shared ride.
shared ride, the rider, would position himself on this marked
Yeah,
area
yeah.
on the floor, and then the
Uh-huh.
driver does all the securing.
Okay.
Um,
So
Because I
Roger,
was not sure that everyone in a wheelchair could like bend down and do stuff.
oh, no.
Okay. All right. We're good. Thank you.
I think the automated equipment that was demonstrated with the video on the fixed route bus,
they can be hand controlled to
could be done, by somebody
yourself.
with arm dexterity.
Yes, that's
Okay.
the one with the bar, that bar that comes down and squeezes the chair. That's done with a simple push of a button.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Okay.
on the
Mhm.
fixed route bus.
Yes, correct.
That's really nice. I mean, for so long, they didn't even have a way for people in wheelchairs to get on the fixed route. So we're making progress.
Oh,
Yes.
yep. Hey, you
And
live
it's
long
groups
enough.
like this
Roger.
that are doing that. So kudos to you guys and other groups like this.
Roger, I'm wondering if your client used it.
Oh, yes, yeah. That's
Oh, okay.
the picture of the platform. That's
So
her feet.
that's the procedure now for paratransit. They just take you to this square and bolt you in.
This particular bus seems to have been a new unit. It was black and white, so it was rapid transit. It was the lift was at the rear, behind the rear axle, and on the driver's side, to the left side of the bus, there were 3 of these places to park a chair,
Okay.
and the rearmost
There is a
one was
chat.
the rearmost one is just the place to park. The forward 2 had bench seats that would fold down for people that didn't need them. So the shared ride, most of the shared ride seating does fold up against the wall when needs be. And you said
And Trevor
chats.
did respond. Hmm.
Okay, we have one. All right.
Lucky you.
Okay, me.
Oh, okay. This is the sample.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I have to say that I know Rapid Transit does training for drivers. Process capability is better or less, and some people are happier to do it than others, and it's sort of technique sensitive. You get in a car, generally speaking, sit in a seat in the car. You have a 3-point belt that goes behind your hip, behind your shoulder, and then clips next to you. The shoulder mechanism that goes from the floor to the ceiling and is supposed to be your shoulder belt. It's pretty routine for that to be too far forward to be effective. But with this system, everything is right where it needs to be.
That's great to hear.
Carol wanted me to mention that if we remain on schedule and honor the bylaws, that next month's meeting is the election convention. So be thinking about what you might want to do, what role you might want to play, and if you want to have a little more prep and discussion beforehand, we can try to do that online, or we can bounce the election. We'll have to make a decision about that. One final note from me is the community name change. Carol's been doing a good job. The actual, we call them the stakeholders, the voting members. We've been having a round robin email offline outside of the meeting, and I think we may actually end up kind of trying to do a vote that way about the new name, or we'll have an agreement before the next meeting or the one after that. So let's keep talking about it. Anybody else? Anything else? Carolyn, what am I missing?
There was one other thing that you texted me about. Let me see, wait.
I will let
Okay.
Jeff jump in here while you find that.
Oh, can I go ahead real quick? Yeah, so, do you want me to just share at the next meeting, the budget update, Roger, since we're at end of time here?
Yeah, if you have something that in print, email it to Carol and me, and if we can put it into email, then we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll do it the next meeting, or we'll do both.
Yeah, the budget is out. There's no increases at this point, for mass transit or shared ride. They are going to be having state budget hearings. PennDOTs are on the 2nd and the 9th. They're still doing the MATP broker study, which is to conclude in May. And I can share I can send Carolyn some emails on that, and then some of the election update stuff too. There are a couple legislators in the region aren't running for re-election. And we'll know in the next 3 weeks who's going to be on the ballot, because the petitioning period just started. So, but I can share more the next time, Eric. So,
Great. Thank you, Jeff.
all right.
Carolyn?
Okay. Oh, I said the Find My Ride thing.
Oh, yes.
At the December meeting, I think we talked about PennDOT was looking into making Find My Ride easier. So was that finalized, Roger? You saw something on the back of the trucks? You sent me a
Yes,
photo.
God almighty.
The
I
PennDOT
deleted that like an idiot.
updated Find
Let's
My
see,
Ride,
restore that.
and they
did
have a
click?
new
Oh, there it is.
address.
I'll be damned. Hang on a second. That's not the one. Restore all. All right. Now, what is that? Oh, no. Damn it. I don't know where it is. Oh, yeah, there's a posting on the shared ride bus that there's a new website for the Find My Ride stuff. I'll scare up that image and get it out to everybody in an email, or Sherry, if you have the actual file.
Let me grab that link.
It was
PennDOT was working on it to bring it up to Commonwealth standards. And it says it was, we heard that it was to be completed in the second half of 2026, and I'm wondering if this is the completed version.
So you're looking for the link, the website link, because it used to be really long and cumbersome. And now it's Find My Ride. That's the schedule link. Is that what we're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, possibly. The thing I
QR
saw on the
code.
bus was a monstrously long URL.
Right.
So
But they had one of those QR codes that you could
QR
use.
code. Let me see if I can find
what did I
the.
do with that picture? Oh, for the love of God. Let's see here.
Find My Ride. I'm just Googling, so maybe I can find something that way. Important rider update. If we can't find it, we can certainly see if we can find it from.
I still have the text,
Mhm.
you know. I could.
Okay. Are we able to maybe put that into the minutes?
Roger.
Yes, certainly. Okay.
Okay.
for those who were. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get my hands on it right now. Yeah, sorry guys.
I think it'll be fine if it goes out in the minutes.
All right, terrific. Anything else? What everybody think? Hi, Rob. How are you doing, Robert? Robert Garrett.
I'm well, Roger. Thank you.
Robert has a limerick
thank
for
you
us. No, he doesn't.
Also, thanks for setting up that, that public hearing or input session. I thought that was very valuable for the designers to hear from everybody. It sounded like we were really almost very close to one voice, talking about the interconnections and trying to use that transfer station to make good things happen for the most amount of people. So that I thought that was very valuable.
Yeah, good to have that, and that they Rabbit, tapped us here to has the forum for that.
Norman Rockwell type feel to it with the everybody knows the famous Four Freedoms, the fellow standing up in the town hall, letting his positions be known. It's good stuff. Thanks, Roger.
Thanks again. Any other parting? No, I was going to say parting shots. Having a pessimistic day. Anything else anybody wants to cover very quickly? All right. All right. This time the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Not everybody at once.
So moved.
I so moved. Okay. Anybody? Never mind.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you. Anybody violently opposing it? All right, then we say goodbye and farewell. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye now.